Hey, welcome to Kingdom Chats. I'm Caleb.
And I'm Kyra.
And together we have the great joy of being the young families pastors here at Winepress Church, leading the amazing community, which is Kingdom Families, and hosting this podcast, where together we are exploring practical ways to live out His kingdom in our everyday lives.
That's it. And each episode is designed as a conversation starter.
Yeah.
So we're going to unpack the word together, hopefully to spark conversations in your world, because that's where the real value is, when you can actually explore it with your spouse, your kids, and your community group.
That's exactly right. So every week, along with the episode, we release discussion questions specifically designed to discuss with your spouse, your kids, and your community group. You can find them every week at winepress.org.au/Kingdom Chats. That's winepress.org.au/Kingdom Chats. So bookmark it, put it on your home screen, print it on your wall, do whatever you got to do. Go there every week to explore those questions together, and together let's see His kingdom come on earth as in heaven. Let's dive in. Hey Kyra.
Hey Caleb.
Welcome back to Kingdom Chats.
Thank you. Great to be here talking about our values at Winepress.
Yes, indeed. And what value are we on?
Take a minute. Do you remember? Authentic community.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
One of my favourites. My favourite.
Yeah.
So we've dived into week 1. So go back and listen to that if you haven't already. Week 1 of Authentic Community. And in that, we looked at God's design.
Yeah.
For authentic community, why it's important. Go back and listen to that if you haven't already. Today, we want to look at...
get a bit more practical, eh?
Yeah, get a bit more practical. We love to get practical. What does it look like to live in community?
Yeah. Because I think it's an important thing, and that's probably a key part of what we want to do in these Kingdom Chats. Obviously working through in our community groups is take our values and from just words on the wall, how do we actually live this out? What does it actually look like for us to live in authentic community?
Yeah, exactly.
So today we're going to look at a little snippet of the Bible that gives us a picture of authentic community in the book of Acts, where it actually describes their community when the church began. And it can just give us a really nice picture that can give us some things that we can actually practically implement. Yeah. And then next fortnight, in the bonus 3rd episode of Authentic Community, we're going to talk about some specific things that are required of us in order to have healthy, authentic community, because it won't just happen, but it's in a good way, it's going to cost us. Yeah. We're going to have to, but that's for next time. So that's right. There's just a taster.
Yes. So what we're going to do is we're going to read, again, one of my favorite passages because it speaks straight to authentic community, and that's Acts 2. So Caleb, do you want to take us through Acts 2 verses 42 to 47?
I would love to.
Because that gives us a really good picture of authentic community.
So let's quickly set the scene here and why this is such a good picture for us. So Jesus has come to earth, done his ministry, died, risen again, sent out the disciples with the Great Commission. They've gone. Now the Holy Spirit has come. Pentecost has hit. God has moved. Thousands of people have suddenly been added to the believers' number. So this is the first picture we get of the New Testament church, which is us. It's like the chapter in time that we're in. This was the beginning of it. Yeah. This is the first picture we get of us, of what we're still living in today. So Acts 2, 42 to 47. It says, they devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and to the fellowship. We talked about fellowship last week. Yeah. Such a good Christian word, isn't it? Yeah. Could we substitute in authentic community?
Yes, let's do that.
They devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and the authentic community, to the breaking of bread, sharing meals, and to the prayer. All came upon every soul. Many wonders and signs were being done through the apostles. All who believed were together and had all things in common. They were selling their possessions and belongings and distributing the proceeds to all as any had need. And day by day, so every day, attending the temple together, breaking bread in their homes, they received their food with glad and generous hearts, praising God, having favor with all the people. And the Lord added to their number day by day those who were being saved.
So cool.
It just, like, I read that, I'm like, oh, that's just the life.
Sounds amazing.
It's the community I want to live in. Yeah,
that's right. Great. Especially, like, I love that we end on day by day, the Lord was adding to their number. So
yeah, that's a great point. It's not the main point, I say, but a great point of authentic community is that it's not
closed.
In the sense that it's not. What was that quote you had? Sorry, this might be diving ahead, but
no. But I found a quote from Church in the Wild, and they're basically a collective of people who are helping churches be missional. Cool. So the quote is, "Community is not about preserving what we have, but extending a welcoming hand to those who long for connection. It's a missional endeavor." And it struck me because, I think so often we're like, oh, these are my people, and, this is my posse, and we gather them close and we keep them close, and we don't want anything to break that. And good, strong friendships, I'm not talking about breaking those or cutting them off.
Definitely not. Jesus had that. He had his
close friends.
He had his close circle that was separate.
Absolutely. But when we're talking about community and being the body of believers, it's not about preserving and protecting and closing in on ourselves. It's about building something that is welcoming and expanding. With
always growing,
always growing. People coming in. It's missional. It's always looking outward. It's extending the love of God out. So it's us building each other up so that we can then love and invite others in to build them up, and for them to then build up and keep reaching out. And I think that's the Acts 2 picture, is that the result of living in authentic community is that the Lord added to their number day by day. People are attracted to community. People are attracted to belonging somewhere. People are attracted to being built up and encouraged and having a support network. How many people do you see, in our communities around us that are hurting, broken, struggling with mental health, depression, anxiety? So many of those things spark from loneliness and disconnection. Being disconnected from people. I think it's vitally important, and it's not about closing in, it's about opening up.
That's good.
So when you have a strong group, strong community, a strong sense of identity within that group, you can then be open to draw others in.
It's a marker of healthy, authentic community is that it's open and welcoming and growing. Yeah. I think that would be a marker of good, healthy, authentic community. So you look at your community and say, is that our heartbeat? You know? And that doesn't mean, like I said, there's healthy boundaries. That doesn't mean every group gathering has all its doors open at all the time. That's not what we're saying, and I want to be really clear. Yeah. There's boundaries. We're going to talk next week about authenticity and oversharing being different things. Yeah. So there are spaces for good, healthy authenticity.
That's right.
Like that.
That's right.
But growth and life should have to be an outflow of good, authentic community.
And I think the very essence of everything we are as a Christian, everything we're doing, should be outward.
Yes.
It should be missional.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
Ultimately what we're called to do. That's the Great Commission.
Yeah, this Acts 2 comes just after, Acts 1.
Yeah.
Which is right after Matthew 28 or every other end of every gospel where Jesus said, go into all the world and make disciples.
That's right.
So that's really good. Okay, let's look at some of the other things in their authentic community. I lost count how many times it talks about them doing things together, all things in common. Were you counting?
I wasn't counting, but
there was a lot.
Basically everything.
Everything, yeah.
I suspect, except, using the bathroom might have been together.
It doesn't explicitly say. Thank you for highlighting that. Thank you so much for helping us have healthy boundaries. We are not saying for authentic community
you have to do everything together. Okay.
There are good, healthy boundaries. Amen.
What they did do together.
Yes.
What did they do?
All the rest of the stuff, apparently. Let's highlight a couple of things that it says. Let's go verse 46. Mm-hmm. Day by day. Okay. Yeah. Every day, attending the temple together and breaking bread in their homes.
Yes.
Okay. So 3 things here. They are attending the temple together, for us, the equivalent of going to church together. Going to church is a community thing. Yeah. That almost goes without saying. But there's a mindset shift that can come here. You don't go to church to get your thing for you. Yeah. We go to church because I am a part of the community and the body. And like we talked about last week, every part of the body has a part to play. Every part of the body brings something important. So when you come to church, you come together, you bring something. And I mean that whether you're on stage or in the foyer or not, or on team or not, does not make a squat of difference. Yeah. You bring something. Everyone, when you come to the gathering, big gathering at church, the small gathering, whatever, you bring something. That's a part of you being a part of community and bringing your part, being a part of the body. Amen. Attended the temple together, and day by day breaking bread in their homes. So it's this beautiful picture of the church being the big gathering and just the small gathering, just the daily in their homes, in their lives, and that sort of thing. They both complement each other. They both work together, and they're both vitally important. Neither one of those talks about a weekly event that you should attend.
No.
It does not say, they would attend the weekly church event, or they would attend their weekly small group gathering at so-and-so's home. It says that day by day they were doing life together, going to the temple, breaking bread in homes. Breaking bread is so significant. It's the third thing. It talks about sharing your meal, opening your table, sharing life. I preached a message a few weeks ago about who's at your table, in the sense of your table representing opening your life. It talks here multiple times about them breaking bread, sharing meals, opening their table, opening their lives to one another in the day by day. The things that the church gatherings, the small group gatherings, I think the key, honestly, is like they were not events that they would attend.
No.
They were just the outflow of, we are doing life and doing life after Jesus together. So we're gathering in the big gathering, we're gathering in the small gatherings, we're just doing life in each other's pockets day by day.
When you think about, like on a Sunday, coming to a church service for an hour and a half, you come, typically you're sitting, you're engaging in worship or listening to a sermon sort of, on your own. Like there's not a lot of time where you're connecting with other people. There's before the service, after the service, we make use of those fellowship times.
There's the turn around and say hello to someone.
Yeah, exactly. So you can sort of talk to people, but it's a very small amount of time that you're talking to people. So how much can you really hear about their life, what they're doing, what their struggles are, what their needs are, how they're growing with Jesus. All of that's hard to do in a Sunday context because there's so many people, and a lot of the time you're listening and engaging sort of one-to-one with the body, obviously. But they're talking about here, day by day, they're doing stuff together, they're breaking bread together, they're attending temple together. And then it says, they're selling their possessions, their belongings, they're distributing things as they had need, as they saw need. Now, the way you see need is when you're engaging with people. And so I feel like when we're doing life with others, if it's just a connection point on a Sunday, you don't get a sense of where people are at in life. But when you're talking to them throughout the week, when you're seeing them throughout the week, you get a better picture of how people are doing, where they're at, what their needs are. And then you're able to step in and get alongside them and walk the journey, provide support. I think of our community group and, you could give 20 examples from just the past fortnight alone of where someone has seen a need and stepped in, whether it's praying for each other in particular challenges, whether it's providing meals because, someone's had a rough week or just coming around to help out, look after your kids. Yeah, we're in and out of each other's pockets in a good way. And so you don't have to sort of, muster up the courage to say, hey, I'm struggling with this. Can somebody help me? No, people already know because they're part of your world. They're checking in. They're saying, hey, I know you had this on this week. How's that going? There's that sense of being in each other's lives. So it's not just about a meeting. It's about doing the day-to-day.
Can I quickly flag one thing with that, and then we'll close this one? So we look at this picture, and like I said, this picture in Acts 2, it is the start of the New Testament church, which we're still a part of. So it's a great picture for us. Our cultural context, though, is pretty different. Yeah. Obviously, this is 2,000 years ago. And a lot of things are different between them and now. One of the things is our lives, the way that we live our Western lives is so different. It's so busy. It's so full. It's so disconnected. We face a lot more barriers to live like this than what they did. Yeah. So in this day 2,000 years ago, this was the natural outflow of doing life in authentic community, being in each other's lives day to day. There was proximity. Yep. It's not that hard to share meals in someone's home every day because no one's got a car. You all live
On top of each
other in these little houses in close walking distance.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's not, you didn't have to book a dinner date 4 weeks in advance.
Yeah.
Because you were just in your home, living in a small community, not connected to the internet and the wider world. And so it was different, okay? And so there were less barriers. But what we see flow out of this is this really healthy, God-ordained communal life, okay? It would be foolish for us just to look at that and be like, all right, we've got to do it.
We just got to do that. That exact thing. Yeah.
Because we face a lot more barriers.
Yeah.
We live in a society that is innately disconnected, in the way our lives work. Everyone lives in their own little house. You don't even know your neighbors. You drive to work, do your thing, drive back home, order Uber Eats. Order your groceries, get them dropped off.
Yeah.
Our lives are more and more individualized.
Yeah.
And that there is so much stuff from the history of the last 100 years that we could talk about that sort of led to this. But one of the things is our lives are more isolated than they have ever been. Okay. We were not designed to live like this.
No.
God designed us, like we talked about last week, to live in community. So in this, some people, you could look at this and be like, oh, well, that was nice for them back then, but it doesn't work for us anymore. Okay. Some of that's true because, it's different. We face extra battles. The thing is, as human beings, we are still the same as what we were 2,000 years ago or thousands of years before that when God created us. We are still designed for authentic community. And so we live in a society where we have to be way more deliberate and way more proactive to this than any other time in history. So I just want to say that in that some of these things we'll be talking about, you could hear them and be like, that was nice, that sounds great for them, but it's just not realistic. I can't do that. Can we live exactly like Acts 2? Probably not. Is that realistic? Probably not in our day and age. But is it still just as important for us?
Yes.
And does that, all it sort of means is we've got to work harder at it.
Yeah.
We've got to be more deliberate and work harder and maybe make some value choices and do things because it's not going to happen as naturally for us as it did for them 2,000 years ago. And so, I don't have the answer to it.
No.
But for each of us, it's saying, all right, how am I going to do this on purpose? I know it does say there, the very start of verse 42, they devoted themselves to the teaching, to the fellowship, the breaking of bread and the prayers.
Yeah.
Even for them 2,000 years ago, this was a value choice.
Yes.
It was, they would devote themselves. They said, I'm going to prioritize this. I'm going to go after it and I'm going to make it happen.
Yeah.
And that's something that in our day and age is more important for us to do than ever.
Yeah. I think that's good.
Yeah. So we can think on that.
Definitely.
Explore that in our study guide. We'll look a little bit at Acts 2, at that passage and what that could look like for us in our lives. But I really challenge and encourage you in that to think about, how do I actually live this out in my life today? Not just put it in the too hard basket, because there are a lot of extra barriers for us today. But say, what does this look like for us to actually live this out today? I would love, for us, for it to be a bit radical and say, we're gonna stand up against some of this individualized, the way that we live in society, but to live genuine, authentic, connected fellowship.
It's good.
Community lives.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done.
We'll leave it there. We've got lots more. We'll see you in 2 weeks for more authentic community.